It's not that it is corruption. Of course, you have to go to court and let the court decide what's the real situation. And I am innocent until proven guilty by the court.
For more on this, let's bring in Ibrahim Suffian in Kuala Lumpur. He's director of the Merdeka Center, a Malaysian research firm. Thanks for joining us. All right, anytime anybody who has a political history is charged with anything now, generally either they or their supporters say this is all just a political witch hunt. And this is indeed what he is saying. So which is it? Is there any evidence either way as to whether these allegations have merit? Do people trust the process?
Well, I think, the Malaysian people has been quite used to see politicians being hauled up through the justice system in the past several years. I think it began with former Prime Minister Najib Razak, who has gone through a fairly lengthy court process, and eventually now he's serving term in jail. So I think, the public, by and large, does have some respect for the justice system in Malaysia. But I think this situation only covers those who are sort of in the middle and partisan supporters of any ruling party. In the current situation, which involves former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin, I would imagine that many of his supporters believe that he is innocent and that he is a victim of political persecution. I think it remains to be seen once the charges are tendered in court and the process begins in earnest, then we will see whether or not there has been any real wrongdoing. And then I think only at that point in time will people who are supportive of him be convinced that it is otherwise.
Yeah, so you have Najib Razak charged, sentenced to prison in the 1MDB scandal. Now you have Muhyiddin Yassin charged with money laundering and abuse of power. Aside from trusting the judicial system, how does this affect people's perceptions of politics there?
Well, I mean, public perception of politics have always been in a low level since 2015 when the 1MDB case broke into the news. And so many Malaysians, by and large, are very skeptical about politicians and their promises. And in part, this is very true amongst younger people. And I think, this current episode, which involves Muhyiddin Yassin, is again a blow in terms of Malaysian voters who, actually came out in large numbers in November 2022 to come out to vote and vote for a cleaner government. And it's also unfortunate that, Muhyiddin Yassin and his coalition of political parties actually campaign on bringing forward a cleaner administration because he wrote to the polls with the campaign promise and also the track record of going against former Prime Minister Najib Razak. So I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed in politicians. And I think the other fear is that it's also going to set in motion a kind of perception or belief that there will always be some kind of score settling in Malaysian politics.
Are there any details emerging at this point about what the allegations entail here? How much money and what was supposedly done?
Well, I mean, there are 4 charges laid against him on the abuse of power under the Anti-Corruption Act. And this specifically speaks of his role as a public officer, which is the Prime Minister and the President of his political party, using those officers in order to influence corporates, specific companies, to donate money to his political party. And then there is 2 additional charges with respect to money laundering. So the funds that were donated, was not, I think, properly accounted for, and that is now a separate set of charges under money laundering. I think the total amount that he has been accused of illegally mismanaging here is in the region of about 232 Malaysian dollars, or it's about 50 million US, thereabouts.
All right. Thanks so much, Ibrahim Suffian. Good to talk to you.